Welcome back to episode 11 of r/EntitledParents. Today I have put together 4 short stories for your entertainment. If you're a fan of these Reddit stories, smash that subscribe button as I put out new videos daily. And don't forget to be part of the LaughNapkin community by joining my Discord server, link in description. Now let's get to it. PETA Mom tries to save my fish. I have a bunch of guppies, mollies, and some tetras. I'm very experienced with caring for fish as pets, as I grew up taking care of them with my parents. There is one mom on the block who thinks I'm too irresponsible to take care of fish. I'm 15 to clear things up. I understand her concerns as fish are very sensitive pets and the slightest change in water quality can kill them. My mother decided she wanted to throw me a party, but I have no friends in our community, as well I don't go out. My mother, being the awesome mom she is, called a bunch of people for me to socialize with. One of these people was Entitled Mom. Entitled Mom hated me from the start when she heard I had pets. She has tried many a times to try and get me to release the fish into the lake or stream during community potlucks. Every single time I responded with this: these fish were raised in captivity. If I were to release them into a lake, one of two things would happen. 1. They would get eaten or die due to water conditions. 2. They would breed rapidly and become an invasive species. The day of the party, I ended up making some friends. Yeah, me. These guys were all 11th graders, as I prefer older people as friends in my age group. I go to get us some drinks, when I see Entitled Mom using a net to try to catch all the fish and putting them in a jam jar. I use my mom's phone to take a video to prove she's catching the fish, and then walk up to her. This is the following conversation. Me: what are you doing? EM a little shocked. I'm trying to save these fish from an irresponsible brat like you. Put the net down and give me the jar. No, these are my fish now. This is your last chance before we make a scene. EM now shouting. No, you will kill these fish. You're denying them their rights. My mom now shows up. Mom, what is happening? She's trying to steal. EM interrupts. No, he's selling me all the fish in the tank. No, I am not, and if you don't give me the jar and leave, I will call the cops. Well then call them. 5 minutes later. We live pretty close to a station. Cop 1. Well, what's going on here? EM. Hi, I would like to report a case of animal abuse. Me chuckling. What abuse? EM. You're keeping these fish in a tank. I grab my mom's phone and show the video of her trying to steal the fish. Cop 2. Keeping fish in a tank is not a crime. Theft, on the other hand, is a crime. She got dragged out swearing and saying something along the lines of assault and rape. She got a boatload of community service hours and lost her house. Rent agreement said she had to have no crimes on her record prior to and after moving in. And I got my fish back, and before you guys ask, I can't show pics of my fish because my mom won't let me. It was hard enough to get her to allow me to post this. More recently, Entitled Mom moved into another house in our community with a freaking sugar glider. I called the cops for keeping it. It's illegal where we live without a permit, and I know this because I wanted to get one. She's going to jail for 1 year this time, and her son is going to live with her ex. I met her son yesterday, and he said, "Thanks man for calling the cops. I hate my mom." Sweet words of victory. Entitled Mom digs up my garden to protect her babies from dangerous flowers. This happened years ago and I had actually forgotten about it, but my mother reminded me of it the other day. Some backstory. We live in a townhome, so 5 or so houses connected to one another. Each has a tiny little plot of grass in front to do with as we please, within reason and subject to board approval because this place sucks. Most people do nothing and just let the maintenance crew cut the grass, trim the hedges, and whatnot. Some people like to plant flowers, including myself and my a-hole former neighbor, Entitled Mom. Entitled Mom was a nasty biatch to everybody in the neighborhood. She had 2 small children under 3 that she had zero control over, but pulled out the mama bear BS if anyone made any perceived slights against her family. I had recently planted some lupins in my little flower bed. A few days later, while I was out watering them, entitled mom comes up behind me and taps me on my shoulder. "You can't have those. Don't you know they're poisonous?" I actually didn't know that, but I was confused as to why she was telling me this and stupidly assumed that maybe she was concerned for my dog. I said something along the lines of, "Oh, Toaster, my dog, is never here off his leash. I'm not worried about it." She scoffed. "I don't care about your dog. I meant they were toxic to children." I don't have children. I was the youngest person in my house at the time, and I was maybe 17. So I told her to keep her kids out of my garden and we shouldn't have a problem. It became a problem. A few days later, I came home from school and all my lupins were ripped out of the ground and mangled. I couldn't prove it was her, but I knew it was. She even made it a point to tell me what a shame it was that my pretty flowers didn't make it, and offered some BS gardening tips about soil. I was freaking thrilled when she and her horde moved out. Entitled mom pulls a taser on me after I don't give her and her kid a refund. So this is my first post here. I work at my local supermarket. Obviously, we have all sorts of idiots and entitled buffoons come in, but this one clearly takes the cake. So this mother came up to my checkout lane and started putting stuff on the belt. Apparently, she decided to give her kid the box of Oreos she was buying, and he elected to tear through that shit like there was no tomorrow. So she pulls it away from him. Situation ensues. Me, you know the drill. "Tony, put those down." She turns to me now with the half-eaten box. "Oh, I'm sorry, could I get a refund for these?" Ma'am, you haven't bought those yet." "Yes, I have. I can't use them now. Can you give me a refund?" "Ma'am, you haven't bought them. Now you have to. That'll be $5, roughly." No, I bought these and now I want my money back." Now, I don't know if this was some god-awful scheme or if she was actually this stupid, but either way, I say, "Ma'am, I cannot give you a refund on a product you haven't bought." "You'll give me a goddamn refund." At this point, she pulls out a taser and starts waving it in my direction. I hit the button to trigger the silent alarm. The cops are now on the way. Entitled mom, "Give me my goddamn refund, you idiot." Me, "Look, ma'am, I can go get the manager. Maybe he could help." "Fine, go get the freaking manager." So I go back and get him, and he goes out and talks to her. I didn't hear what they said because I was cowered in the office for fear of being tased. But the cop showed up after about 4 minutes and arrested her, so it was a hell of a Friday. My own mother tried to kill me because I didn't give her money for her birthday. Apologies if I mess anything up. My daughter told me to post here. When I was first married, money wasn't that easy to come by. I had a form of leukemia that took up most of our money. Due to this, we can't just spend money like we wanted to. God bless my husband for being such a sweetheart. We were only early 20s and he still pushed through this for us. December 23rd is my mother's birthday. She is an awful person. She tried to get me pregnant at 14 because she wanted more money from the state. That's an entirely different story I'll post on here if people ask. As this was 20 years ago, we didn't really have the same type of cell phones we have today. So I didn't know until I got home from treatment that my mom had called me multiple times. 3 minutes later, I counted, she showed up at the door. She asked for her money. Both of us are confused, of course. She wants her birthday money, which I've never given before to her. She wanted $608, that exact amount. When I told her no, we can't afford it, she lost it, screaming at me, calling me a whore and an entitled biatch. She gave birth to me, so I should do what she says. And then I say I'm an adult and I don't have to listen. I was angry and tired and I just threw up a few minutes ago. This set her off. She grabbed a kitchen knife and ran at me while my husband is trying to hold her back. She stabbed me right between 2 ribs, but didn't pierce any organ, thank God. I don't know what happened in my husband's mind, but he snapped. He broke her arm backwards in rage while screaming something I don't even think was human language. He called the police and she was arrested while I was being taken to the hospital. Even more bills to pay, but surprisingly that was taken care of by a domestic violence victims foundation. She got 7 years in prison. I moved out and moved to Louisiana. This morning I got a call from my sister that she passed away last night. How she did, I don't know. Don't care. She took her entitlement and almost killed her own daughter because of it. Well, that about wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and bell. By the way, I just started a Discord server for anyone looking to be part of the LaughNapkin community. Link in the description below. See you next time.